Yes, Dr. Aaron U. Scared here once again. In from the field. After my presentation on the disappearance of Malaysia Flight 370, it caused such a stir because, if you recall, I, with scientific data, proved that Flight 370 was sucked up by a vortex created by climate change. That caused such a stir that people wanted to know. They wanted to know what else they can expect from climate change. People were in such a tizzy that I had found the cause of that disappearance, that they were certain that I could elucidate more facts about climate change. People are anxious to know what other phenomenon that we might be experiencing is the result of climate change. And people also want to know what they can do to prepare for these phenomenon. Well, as it relates to the vortex phenomenon and that suck-up thing, it is just very important that you do not go into open spaces, vast open spaces, that is. So things like in the air, or in the sea, or in a large field. Stay out of those now that we have climate change, because one never knows when you will experience one of those vortexes and be sucked up. Another phenomenon that you may have noticed, I certainly have, is news media frenzy. This phenomenon is characterized by the routine exaggeration of facts and weather conditions, the obsession with naming every storm and squall, named after a girlfriend or a beloved cat, reference to past tragic weather events, and sounding the alarm, so to speak, about the imminent danger of the recurrence of such an event. Another phenomenon is the growing popularity of climate change paraphernalia, like the Prius and related vehicles. Along with that phenomenon is the phenomenon of the growing egos of those who drive those cars, who seem very concerned with the rest of us who do not drive those cars and can feel a certain superiority because they do, and they're actually doing something about climate change. You know, it's that old thing where, you have this problem and you just throw money at it and it gets fixed. Then there is the phenomenon that we in the field like to call SCFCS. That is Sudden Carbon Footprint Concern Syndrome. With that phenomenon, people seem to be lengthening their vacation time, because if we are going to have a large carbon footprint and take an airplane and fly here and there, then we should have a longer vacation to, so to speak, spread the carbon footprint out over more time, thereby ameliorating the effects or the guilt or what have you. Then there is the phenomenon of sun slather. And that is when, with particularly children and fair-skinned people, we are just slathering that sunscreen all over many times a day, whether the sun is out full on or not. And that is resulting in a vitamin D deficiency that is in critical proportions throughout the country, the world even. So, as you can see, this climate change thing and all the shit that flows from it is just going to intensify as time goes on, particularly when there are not many murders or other tragic events to report about. And the news media will keep us informed, afraid even, so that we continue to tune in to the well-watched Weather Channel and related types of shows, and so that we continue to watch their ads and buy their crap, so that we can really do nothing about climate change, and so that we have to continue to listen to them. And it's just like, who knows where it all began and where it's all going to end. Anyway, I will see you again soon to talk about further developments as they show themselves.